Hi, welcome back to Small Town Big Mouse. This is Amber, your one and only.
And Nikki, your resident bartender. Today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart.
We're going to talk about the service industry and how we tip in the USA compared to other countries.
Yes.
So I found some information that in Japan and South Korea, it is actually sometimes seen as offensive to tip, which in California,
it's
the
offensive
United
not
States,
to tip.
Yeah, it's offensive not to.
Right. No, in the United States, it's offensive not to tip.
I'm like, wait a minute, what did I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, and here, sometimes it's already added onto your bill before you even tip, and sometimes waiters or waitresses don't even tell you that it's added, and then you just go ahead and leave a tip on top of they're already 18%.
Right.
Because that's, I think, about 18%. I think Miami was 20% when I went. Everything. It didn't matter if you're in a large group or not.
They included the tip everywhere you went.
Everywhere you went, tip was included.
See, that's so wild.
Yeah. So basically, they're tipping themselves, and it's not like it's just like I know I'm going to get it, so I don't have to be of good service to you. And that's the hardest thing with today is I want to tip somebody. Sometimes they'll even like I've noticed on receipts it'll say like certain amounts already on there, like you just check the box, and I'm like, well, I don't want to check the box. I want to write in what I want to write in.
Right.
And sometimes it's more or less, or even group dinners where they add on the gratuity. I'm like, well, I would have tipped you more than that, but okay. You know, I mean, I'm just sighing away. I know I could probably add it on there.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't want to have to count.
Yeah. Right. No, I get it.
I'm like, I don't want to count. So what about for you though? Because you work in an industry where you're tipped on a regular basis.
We hope. Fingers crossed.
We hope, right? So what do you see as far as 2024 or after COVID, pre-COVID? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so immediately after COVID, it was really good. Like, it was really good.
Really?
Yeah. Immediately after, because I think people had that extra money. They felt bad that like the bar wasn't open. They felt bad for me because I wasn't working, whatever the case may be. Now it's not as much. It's definitely declining. There's definitely a whole like group of individuals who feel like they don't need to tip. Mm-hmm. I'm paid to do my job, which I am. I am paid to do my job. But I'm also providing you a service. And also, if you come in on a, slow night and I'm talking to you, engaging with you, all the things, I'm doing those things because I work in the tipping industry.
Okay. So I don't know if this is true, but like I've always heard before, I don't know if this is still a standard, waiters, waitresses' wages are less than because they do get tips. Is that true, or do you?
In certain states it is true. In the state of California it is not.
Okay.
There are states, I think like Arizona is one of them, maybe Nevada, I'm not sure. But I know because I'm on a lot of forums on Facebook too, and I know for a fact Arizona was one. It was like $2.85 an hour was the wage.
Holy moly.
Yeah, but what happens is when these people are getting their tips and they're reporting them, it somehow has to work out to be the federal national average, which is, I think, minimum wage is like $17 an hour or whatever.
Right.
So if it doesn't work out to be that, then the company you work for has to make up the extra percentage that it isn't. It's probably very rare that happens, but I'm sure it does happen. What year was it? 1990 something. And Red Lobster had just opened. And I worked at Red Lobster, and I literally only worked there for 2 weeks because it was horrible.
Really?
Yeah. People were waiting in line for like 2 hours to get in because it had just opened. And they were mad at the server when they got inside and they weren't leaving tips. I waited on this whole party. Yeah. I waited on this whole party. Their bill was like $200 and something. They didn't leave a tip at all. Nothing.
And you guys are busting your ass, and it's super busy because it is just opening.
And places like that are corporations, these people cannot clock out until they claim their, I think it's like 8% of their sales or whatever. So that night, I literally owed money for working.
Oh my goodness.
That was the last day I worked there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to work there
That was
either.
the last day I worked there. And it was a group of, I'm Armenian, but it was a group of Armenians. They came in and they ordered like a party platter and they ordered some this and some that. And I was just like, okay. And I'm Armenian, so I'm like trying to, work it.
Yeah.
But they were not having it. And they were mad. And they ordered a party platter, which was like a special item. So the kitchen had to make this special item for them. They were mad because it was taking so long. They were mad because they had waited so long. I'll never forget. And I was just like, when the bill came, it was $217. And the guy left $217 in cash. And when he pulled it out, he had a whole bunch of cash in his hand. And I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah. I want to know what our listeners, our viewers have to say about tipping in today's day and age. For me, I think that especially lately with the cost of everything, the food prices have gone up.
Yes.
So that means the tip goes up.
Yes.
Which kind of sucks for me as a consumer.
Because now you're paying more all the way around.
Because now I'm paying more all the way around. So,
which is going to stop people from going out.
It definitely has. I feel like I don't want to go out. One, because everything's just too expensive. And I'm like, I've actually been cooking a lot more. And I've been coming up with good recipes. Actually, what I've been doing, here's a little cheat, is
putting it in ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. I'm like, I only have these ingredients.
Oh my God.
Give me a recipe.
You guys, anyone who doesn't have ChatGPT, you need to get on it because this is like crazy, the things that this thing can do.
It's so crazy. And my daughters can be super freaking picky, and they have liked everything that ChatGPT has told me to cook. So, like, I'm not mad at it. Like,
right.
I did it two nights in a row because I had, like, different things. And I'm like, I know this could probably go together, but, like, how?
Yeah.
And sure enough, it worked. And I said, in the crock pot. So, even better. Last night, I did a vodka sauce lasagna in the crock pot with Italian sausage. Super good. Although Michaela said that too much cheese. Who says too much cheese, right?
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, there's no noodles. But I'm like, I had enough noodles. But anyways, that's besides the point. I do feel like I've been cooking more just for the simple fact of, how much it costs. Hold up. Hi, Dad. We're recording right now. What's going on? Hello? Hello?
Well, I'm going to get something myself. I know, but
He butt dialed you.
He butt dialed me. Oh.
We actually had called Amber's dad to get his input on some of this because, he's a person that goes out as well.
Yeah. I mean, pretty frequently.
And he had what did
he said? Okay, so my dad likes to call me. We have a really good relationship. He'll call me with different ideas, and I do try to write them down. But sometimes he calls me at the randomest times, and I'm not able
ready to. Yeah.
And so he calls me the other day, and he was like, he must have been out buying lunch or something, and we all know in today's day and age, everybody's paying with a card and they turn the machine around and you're ordering at the counter. So are you supposed to tip? My dad feels like if he doesn't tip, they're going to spit in his food. And I'm like, Dad, that's not what's going to happen. It's kind of like, to me, I feel like if you go through a drive-through, are you tipping? Like you go through McDonald's,
okay,
Jack in the Box, you're not tipping.
If the people do tip, who gets the tip? It's split amongst everyone that works there?
It's probably split among everybody. That's what I see a lot of now. I feel like a lot of tips are being split between everybody.
I mean, we split our tips behind the bar, but we are all working equally as hard. But to me, if I did leave a tip at McDonald's or wherever, it would be because that person taking my order gave me excellent service, not because the guy back there flipping the burger came up and said hi to me. You know what I mean?
Right, but the chef's the one that's cooking the food, and maybe the quarter pounder with cheese was super good. Or
What
something.
if it's not?
Right. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Is
yeah, but I'm tipping the person that I'm speaking to.
Right,
and now that I know that it's being distributed amongst all these people there, like,
it's okay. So
what did you do for me? You were over there working the drive-thru. I didn't even see you.
We don't tip in the drive-thru. That's just, there's not an option to do that. You pay, you roll up, you get your
Right,
stuff.
but that person is still going to be included in that tip if it's distributed to everyone working.
Well, no, this is like, these smaller chains, they're not even chains, they're just these restaurants that you walk up to the counter, you pay, you walk up to the counter
Like
and
what?
you grab.
I'm only asking because I'm trying to figure
think of like
instance.
Chipotle, right? You walk in, you order your food, they make it in front of you. You get it.
Right.
They're not bringing it out to you. Are you supposed to tip them?
I feel like places like that I do. I also tip at like Dutch Brothers, where I kind of draw the line is like when I go to 7-Eleven. See, but I pay cash. But I've been with people and they have their card. And like the dude at 7-Eleven, you use your card and it asks if you want to leave a tip. And I'm like,
for what?
For what? I went over there and got my own Slurpee, poured my own Slurpee, brought it up here. All you did was rang it up. Tip me, bitch. Like... I just made my own drink.
We might as well tip the grocery clerks too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting, the tipping to me is getting out of hand.
No, it really isn't. It's unfortunate for people like me.
Yes.
Who work in an industry where tipping has been the norm for years.
Yeah. So like for you, I tip you better than I would another bartender. Like I'm only giving $1 a drink.
Yeah.
That is like,
but that's still a great tip.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
it is. I'm telling you, it's a good tip.
I mean, maybe if I'm ordering like 5 shots for everybody, maybe I just do a few bucks or like $3 or something. Right. But I'm just like, because I know. You know
but at the end of the day, even whatever you tip someone else, that is still a good tip because there are plenty of people out there that do not tip at all. This is a crazy story. I worked at Perco's. I was a company trainer for them. I was friends with my manager. Her dad came in every day and had coffee. Now, normally she poured his coffee. One day he came in and she wasn't there. She was off running errands. So I got him his coffee. I got him his coffee, brought it out, poured it. He had refills. He was a businessman. When he left, he didn't leave a tip. And he also doesn't pay for his coffee because he's this person's daughter who runs the place, okay? So I said something like, her name was Lydia. I said, Lydia, your dad doesn't tip? And she's like, yeah, well, he just feels like because he goes these places every day and he's out eating, 3 meals a day. And I said, I don't care. That's not my problem. Right. Because to me, if you're going out all these places, you're not tipping anyone and you're coming in and getting free coffee. Yeah. I'm just like, and you're taking up a booth because you didn't sit at it was a place that had it was a breakfast place. We had a counter and booths. And you're sitting at a booth where one of my fucking customers could sit and be tipping me. So then I'm just like, okay, it's kind of the same thing like at work when the bouncers come early and they want to sit at the bar and have like a soda. My answer is no. Take that outside, go stand over there. You're not sitting at the bar. And I've had people bouncers get mad at me. And I'm like, this is reserved for people that are sitting, buying stuff, and tipping.
That's true. I mean, I feel like with the dad, especially because he is getting his coffee for free, and it's not even his daughter serving him, you would think at least $1, right? Like $1. I feel like if I get something for free or different price or whatever, I'm definitely giving somebody more of a tip to show that I appreciate you for taking care of me. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I learned my tipping from my dad because I know he's very generous and he'll pay for somebody's meal or he'll do different things. But at the same time, I've also dated somebody and it was a conversation when the bill was $100 and he left $5. I called my dad and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Because
what'd your dad say?
He's like, tell him.
Oh, I'd have been like, quit dating that fucker. That's what.
He was like, well, you need to have a conversation. And I did. And the guy was like, I tip what I feel is justifiable. And I was like, if you can't afford to leave 15%, you shouldn't be going out to dinner. Because I get that from my dad. Like, if you can't tip, don't go.
I feel like that too.
I feel like it's a $100 bill and you leave $5. I feel like that's an insult.
Yeah.
I'd
rather you leave nothing and I feel like and then think that you forgot than leave me $5 and make me feel like my service wasn't good.
Now, if your service was shitty and I left you $5, then you'd probably be like, well, I probably deserve that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, if your service is good, then why not?
Well, it happens all night long at the bar. Like these kids, they'll close out and their tab will be like $200. There was one I can specifically remember. His tab was like $180 something. I took him his thing. I walked down there. He signed it. I walked back and I picked it up, and I could not help myself. I leaned across the bar and I said, "Was everything okay?" "Yeah, everything was great." I'm like, Did someone here make you mad? Yeah. "No, I like you guys." I said, "Really? Because you bought all your friends drinks, you spent $180, and not you or any of your friends left a tip."
Yeah.
Like,
that's rude.
To me, it was. And he knows who he is. When he comes in, I don't help him.
Yeah. Does he tip at all?
No.
Oh, so he's just not a tipper.
Yeah. His brothers, though, come in, and I love them. They all take care of me. They're super nice. This guy not only is a dick, he doesn't tip. And that's just, like, I find a lot of the times these things go hand in hand. I'll be, like, at the register ringing someone up, or at the credit card machine closing someone out, and I get the, excuse me, and when I turn around, "Can I get it?" And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, I try and sweetly be like, okay, here's the deal. If you're talking to my back, it's probably not your turn. And all of us are really good at making eye contact with you so you know when it's your turn. And when you're yelling at the side of my face or my back, I'm probably not going to be apt to help you. So then it's 95% those people don't tip. 95%. It's always the people that don't consider what I'm already doing, that I'm helping someone else, that it's someone else's turn. Those are the people that usually don't tip.
It's crazy. Like, I don't remember what the circumstance was, but I remember this had to have been like, I want to say it was probably before kids or Michaela was like a baby, that I went out to eat and I left a penny. The service was that bad, I wanted her to know.
Do you know what a penny means, though?
No.
It's could mean bad, but if you leave, like, let's say you left her 20% and a penny, that means the service was excellent.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm gonna start carrying
and that
pennies.
might be an old thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was like when I worked in that place where the dad that didn't even leave me not even one penny. He that was a thing among waitresses. Because I was like, why did that guy leave me the tip and then plus a penny? And then one of the older ladies was like, oh, that means your service was excellent. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like a good luck penny.
Another thing I'll do is I'm not afraid to write on receipts.
Yeah.
I will say, if you're good, I will tell you if you're bad. If you're average, you don't get nothing. But if it's really good and somebody really puts an effort, like, I will write, like, keep up the good job, keep smiling, whatever it is, because we don't always want to hear the bad things.
Right.
We want to hear the good things.
And it's that usually is what happens is people hear the bad things. When we were in Vegas this weekend, we went to Hash House A Go-Go in the plaza.
I've never been there.
Okay, that is one of my favorite places to eat. The breakfast there is out of control.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and there's one in like San Diego too. So I love the one in San Diego too. So go there. Our server was amazing. Probably the best service it was the best service of the trip for sure. And we ate at a nice steakhouse.
Yeah.
But it was the best service I probably had in a very, very long time.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was really good. And we told him, and we tipped him very well. I think we tipped him like, I don't know, 30%.
Yeah.
It was good. It was great. The service he was on top of it. He took care of us. Our food came out hot. We all came out together. Everything happened the way it should have happened.
See, and I think servers or waitresses like that are probably more recognized, and they do make more money, because when you make somebody else feel good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to want to repay you.
Yes.
And I've never worked in the service industry. My dad says I should have been. I still could be. He was like, why not have a side, and make
a side
cash.
hustle.
Yeah, he goes, and, supposedly either presidential candidate, we're not going to have tax on those tips anymore.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm waiting to see that.
Right? We'll see what happens. But, I mean, I think because I am so social, I would probably be good at it. But then again, I have low tolerance for bullshit. So
it's a very hard, fine, thin line. I know.
Catch-22.
It is a catch-22. And I think, like, for me, I had the same, Lydia was her name, the lady whose dad was not a good tipper. I worked with her at several different places. And I had her tell me one time, she said, you could sell ice to an Eskimo. And I said, I was young, I was like 20.
What does that mean?
I go, what does that mean? And she goes, the second we would be back in the back and I'd be mad at another server or one of the cooks and I'd be like, you fucking motherfucker. But the second I stepped out on that carpet of the restaurant, oh my God, hi, how are you guys? Where have you been? You know, she goes, you would never know. She goes, your best friend could be in the back, you know, dying and you would never know that. And she's like, and that's what makes you a good server. And I feel like I am a better server than I am bartender, which is weird because I've been bartending for so very long. But
different dynamics to that, though.
Yes. It's more one-on-one time with this table. And you get more of an easier reading, and most people aren't drunk at dinner, so or lunch or breakfast or whatever the fuck you're serving them. Yeah. So it's a whole better experience for both parties, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can get a vibe. Like, if some people are cool, you can talk to them and have a conversation. If you feel like, oh, these people are fighting or they just want to be left alone, you just do the, you know, the things that are required. I'm going to bring your water. I'm going to fill this. I'm going to come back and check on you, but I'm not coming over for any extra bullshit. And sometimes that makes you money too. You know, I was out to dinner with Autumn, my daughter, Tina, and her wife, Autumn, and we went out to dinner and we were someplace and I saw someone I knew. And the people he was with, we were kind of over. Autumn was like this. They were behind us. They were behind me. And Autumn was in front of me and she was like, I'm like, Autumn, what's going on? She goes, I can't believe what's going on at that table over there. And I was like, what's going on? She goes, your friend, the guy with him, is being so rude to the server. And I'm like, what do you mean? I guess the server came over and was like, and he goes, you know what you can do? You can leave us alone. You can stop coming over here. And I was like, and I kind of like heard a little bit of it, but I wasn't sure what was going on. And then when Autumn like told me, I was like, see, now that just like, she's doing her job.
Right. And how do you think you just made her day,
like,
night?
To me, I'd have been like, okay, fucker, you don't want me to come back? Cool.
Right.
I'm never coming back over there. Find another server to come wait on you. Yeah.
God, that is so rude. We never know what other people are going through. So, I mean, maybe it was a really shitty day for him, but still, it's no excuse to treat somebody bad, you know.
Why make someone else's day shitty?
Right.
Because you're having a shitty day.
Well, misery loves company.
Well, we know that. So I think we both like opened up our phones and printed out a little, or opened up a little something.
Yeah.
Autumn's. I got Autumn on my brain. Amber's was international versus the United States.
Yes.
Right? And so mine was tipping practices in the United States. It's kind of like a when to tip, when not to tip. So should I start or you want to start?
Go ahead and start.
Okay, so mine was restaurants. It says 15 to 20% if you sit down of the total bill.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If it's a buffet, it's 10%. Because that person still is coming over, clearing your plates, checking on you. Okay. Bars, $1 to $2 per drink, or 15 to 20% of the tab if running a bill. Coffee shops and cafes. This one was kind of like, I consider Denny's a coffee shop, so I don't know if maybe this is like, because it says optional but appreciated. So I would never like optionally tip at a coffee shop, because a coffee shop to me is like Denny's, Country Waffle.
See, those are restaurants to me.
See, and that's like Denny's is a coffee shop. Perco's was a coffee shop. That's where I worked. It was a coffee shop.
But you sit down in a restaurant. A coffee shop is like Starbucks.
Cafe, it says coffee shop / cafe.
Interesting.
So yeah, it says optional but appreciated. 10 to 15% if you receive exceptional service or have a large order. Delivery services, food and grocery. 10 to 20% depending on the distance or the size of the order. Tip a bit more if the weather's bad.
Interesting.
Well, they got to carry it in the rain or wind or snow or whatever. Hair and beauty services, 15 to 20% of the total service cost. So is that what you tip when I don't go get my hair done anymore? So I like
It's what did it say? 15 to 20?
15 to 20% of the total service cost.
I don't think so. It's like really whatever I can afford.
Okay. Because I'm not trying to be rude to hairdressers because we love you. But my God, your services have went up.
And I'm having to sit there for freaking, so I feel like it takes way longer. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
So.
Like it's $50 for a haircut now.
And honestly, I think too, it also depends on how much conversation we have and like what's going on. Especially because lately I feel like I used to be able to get my hair done in 2 hours. I feel like it takes almost 4 hours now. And that's a long, you know how much
it's a chunk of your day.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to go at like 9, so I'm out of there by 1.
Yeah.
Like that's half my day. It's kind of hard to do that. So, and even this last time I went, I was like, can we just do a partial? Because I didn't want to be there as long. And I was still there
2
down
hours.
there as long,
Oh my God. Okay.
So,
I got more here. I got taxis and ride shares, 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Hotel staff. Mm-hmm. So housekeeping, $2 to $5 a night. Mm-hmm. Bellhop, $1 to $2 a bag. The concierge, you tip for special services, like if they got you reservations somewhere or did something for you, $5 to $20. Valet, $2 to $5. Mm-hmm. Movers, I've never had someone, I guess I've only had my friends over and I'm just giving them beer and fucking pizza.
Right.
Yeah. It says 10 to 20% of the moving cost or $20 to $50 per mover, depending on the job's complexity.
Okay.
Personal services, massage therapist, nails, 15 to 20%.
I just went the other day and I got a massage and I was not happy with it. Oh. And I felt like all I got was elbows. And I left a $10 tip.
Okay.
My bill was $60. So, I guess it's still decent, but
that's about 12%, I think. Yeah.
But I'm like, God damn. Yeah. It wasn't even worth it. I really didn't want to leave a tip.
I tipped just to get the hell away, I think. Tour guides, $5 to $10 per person for a half-day tour, $10 to $20 for a full-day tour per person. Okay, and then it goes into when not to tip. Fast food chains, retail stores, self-checkout, automated services such as kiosks and apps, government services, medical professionals. Who the fuck is tipping them? Doctor, can you look at this? Oh, by the way, here's $20.
Right.
No.
What the hell?
Yeah. Gray areas, which kind of are optional. Takeout restaurants, 10%. Hotels, it says limited service. Some people tip in limited service hotels, motels, etc., but it's not as common as in full service hotels. This is coffee shops and counter service. Tipping isn't mandatory for counter service, but many people leave a small amount like loose change or $1. Food trucks and casual dining. Tipping is appreciated but not obligatory. Obligatory?
I don't know.
Tipping is a good way to acknowledge service, but is not always required in every situation, and it is a personal choice in many gray areas. But I also know, and you're going to tell me this right now, it's very different in other countries.
It is very different in other countries. So before I go down this list, there was a night that I had came in, and there was a couple that I had met earlier that night.
They were from England or somewhere.
They're the UK or something, and they say they do tips based on the service that they provide. And so I'm like, okay, that's interesting, because I had this conversation with them. Well, then later on, they come down to the bar, and I think I asked you, did they tip? Mm-hmm. And they did tip you. So I was grateful to know that they do that. And I actually have an app that I follow their little travel.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't logged in. So now that we're talking about them,
now you're going to log in and check on them.
Yeah, I'm going to check on my friends, my new friends, because I make them everywhere. So, but in other countries, it says Europe, such as France and Germany, tipping is generally smaller, as service charges are often included in the bill. A 5 to 10% tip is common, but rounding up the bill is also acceptable. Service staff typically earn better wages than the USA. The UK, 10 to 15 tip is customary if a service charge isn't already included in the bill. Japan and South Korea, it's rare and can be seen as offensive. Exceptional service is expected as part of the job, and tipping can be considered unnecessary. Which, I mean, they say people from Japan are, hardworking.
Yes.
So to them, that's just what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And in a job, we are supposed to, any job we have, we're supposed to be good at what we're doing.
Yes.
Australia and New Zealand, tipping is not customary, but appreciated for excellent servers. Servers earn higher wages, and tipping is usually 10% or rounded up the bill. In Latin America, it says like Mexico and Argentina, 10 to 15% is standard. In restaurants, however, in Brazil, service is usually included in the bill, and tipping isn't expected beyond that. So tipping in the USA tends to be more expected and larger compared to other countries where service charges are higher. Wages reduce the reliance on tips. So
I've never went to another country and tipped and had them look at me like I was, from another planet.
Yeah. They're actually really like, oh my gosh, thank you.
So thankful. It's crazy. When we went to Bali, we got a driver who I'm still friends with. We got this driver, and he drove us literally all around for $20 for the whole day. And then on top of it, we gave him I think it was like a $20 or $40 tip. And you would have thought that I just gave him a new house.
Yeah.
He was so thankful, and probably why we're still friends to this day. You know what I mean?
He's like, come back.
Yeah. And it's very much like that in other countries. A lot of people, and even I feel like sometimes when I'm out of town, I get a lot of people because I feel like I'm overly generous because of what I do. You know what I mean? But when the service is good, the service is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't not tip someone because even when the service is bad, I still leave a tip. But am I happy about it? No.
Well, see, back to what my dad was saying, it's like, do you leave the tip? Because if you don't, then they're going to spit in your food. If you're walking up and count, it's a gray area.
Yeah.
So it's hard because drive-through Dutch, I'll leave $1 a drink, just like I would a bar. Sometimes they're standing out there in the hot sun.
Yes.
Taking your orders.
Dutch is one of those places too where I just want them to shut the window. I give them the money, and then they're all, hi, what? Oh, do you have plans today? What are your plans? What are you doing? And I'm just like, nothing. I just want some coffee, girl.
Yes.
Shut that window.
Right, or it's all blowing. It's God, I
don't want to tell you my whole life story.
Yes.
Make my fucking coffee, okay? I gave you a tip. Go away.
It's like you pay her to leave, not to come.
Yeah. Because they always ask me, what are you doing today? And I'm just like, nothing.
I just woke up, gave my
that's
coffee.
Why I need the coffee.
Oh, my goodness.
But for the most part, I feel like we're really getting into this whole crazy, with the tipping, because it is going a little overboard, and people like me are losing out because of it. And that's what sucks, is because everyone now is asking for a tip everywhere you go.
And so I can agree with that.
And I will say, yesterday, I already told you guys about my tattoos. When we went to get our tattoos, this place is famous. It's $10 tattoos in Vegas. That's their spiel. That's their thing. People, $10 tattoos, of course everyone's coming in and asking dumbass questions, right?
Yeah, it's cheap.
Right. There's a section that says $10 tattoos. These are the tattoos that are $10. Mm-hmm. You can get it from here to here or from here to here. Okay? Well, I have questions. Can I get it in color? What if I don't like that? What if I want the end of it to look like this? What if I was asking questions, and then I asked the girl, I said, what's your name? And she goes, and she was a chick behind the counter, and she goes, Kat. And I said, oh, okay. I said, Kat, do you do tattoos? No. Do you do piercings? No. Oh, cool. How long have you worked here? Long enough. That was her talking to me. And I was like, okay. So I just excused myself and went and sat down and got on my phone, and I was like, for everything that is going on right now, I fucking hope the tattoo artist is nicer. And he was.
Did you say anything about Kat?
Nope. But now It's a woman-owned
Google review.
Exactly. It's a woman-owned business, which was another like, yes, a woman-owned business, and they're doing this, and they're out there like on TikTok with these $10 tattoos. Like, they're TikTok famous because of their $10 tattoos.
Yeah. So
with people coming to Vegas from all over the world, they're going to ask dumb questions.
Yep. And she's probably sick of it.
She probably, then that's not the job for her.
Right.
If your only job is to not do tattoos and not do piercings, and you're the customer service.
You're the greeter.
Man.
Kat,
fail.
you're just a greeter.
Fail, girl. Fail. And all I was trying to do was make a conversation with her.
Yeah.
When people ask me how long I've worked at the bar, I don't fucking, long enough. I've been here 25 years. And then it's like, whoa. And then it's a conversation.
It leads into something.
Right.
She was just dry as hell.
Exactly. And if that's who you are, hey, great. Then that shouldn't be your job.
Yeah.
They need someone with much more personality. And when we were leaving, there was another girl coming in, and she seemed way more bubbly. And I was like, okay.
Maybe the other girl was late. Let's give Kat the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was just done for the day.
She wasn't. I already know because I saw her doing other things. But yeah, I get it.
Sorry.
Maybe she was having a bad day.
Devil's advocate.
It seemed like that was her. And that was her personality. And I was like, all right. And then we sat down, and Cody sat down next to me, and I said, did not like. And Cody goes, no. No, did not.
Oh, that's horrible. Well, is there anything else you want to add for tipping in the service industry?
I do. I just want to say, when you're out and about and doing all the things that you do and living your day-to-day life, anyone who's listening, please, you might be going through something, your server might be going through something. If it's genuinely bad service, and it's, happens on more than one occasion, or you ask for something and they don't bring it, or there's like a general attitude, okay. But right now, I feel like we're all working hard, anyone in the service industry, and I feel like I keep hearing that there's a shortage of servers and this and that, but I don't really see that happening anywhere, but I hear that. So let's just be kinder, like, to each other all the time, not just at this moment, and not just when you're getting something, served to you. I think we really, and I'm going to go off on something that doesn't have anything to do with tipping, is we really need to be kinder to each other.
I think people need to listen to understand. I think people need to think more positively, because we are all very lucky to be breathing today. And maybe today's not a great day, but
tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day to start a new adventure or new whatever. Failures make us. They make us stronger. So just keep that in mind. Today is today, and it will pass if it is not a good day. If it's a great day, make tomorrow an even better day.
And doing something good and nice for someone may change their whole attitude.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said,
I think we can roger that, because that was awesome.
Roger that.